everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Cold Suns, a sci-fi convergence. I will be your game master, Chase, and I use he, him pronouns. We are joined by our regular crew of lovely players. I have just a couple of very quick channel announcements, and then we will go around to do introductions. So, this is our penultimate episode, episode 15 of season 2. So don't miss out on your opportunity to enter our 2 concurrent giveaways. If you type in !infiltrate into the chat, you'll be entered to win the players bundle, which includes a copy of the Expanse RPG core rulebook, as well as Abzu's Bounty, which is a pretty cool adventure path. Also, whenever we hit 30 churn, which we did twice in a row, so, enter, we give away basically almost every Expanse RPG PDF that there is. And all those are thanks to our friends over at Green Ronin. We appreciate their support for all of our giveaways. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's all I have for channel announcements. If there's something else important or pressing, I can't remember. So we're going to go around the table, introduce ourselves, and we will do a brief intro video and recap last week's session. So I'm going to hand the virtual microphone over to Alexis.
Hello, it's me, the disembodied voice of Alexis. You can find me at VoxFanato on Twitter, where I pretty much only posting about Valheim these days. So follow me for Viking shit in Valheim, fantasy bullshit builds that I don't need to be building, but I'm building them anyway and I love them. I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character for this evening, Cassie O'Neill. She is ex-military. She appears human, but is a blended consciousness with an alien symbiote known as a Tok'ra. And she's ready to kick some ass and help her girlfriend Takiri take some assholes down. Sean.
So I think that makes me the embodied voice of Sean. I'm here every Saturday with this lovely group. I am playing Takiri, she, her pronouns. She's a reformed pirate, roguish pilot that is coming to her reckoning with one of the pirate captains that had tormented her in her early life. I will pass this over to Rob.
Hey, Rob at Pyromancer 804, he, him. Today I will be playing Tack, they, them. They are a large Solagolo colony of worms that's discovering the universe and protecting the party as they go. And I will hand it over to Matt.
Hello, folks. I am Matthew Foreman. Tonight I will be playing Drake, a mystic warrior, a mystic source warrior with a blade made of light. We both use he/him pronouns, and I'm excited to be here. I'll pass it over to Liz.
Oh, I have a stream pupper. Look at this face. Look at this face. And I use she, her pronouns. You can find me at No One You Know Backwards. And I will be playing Droogle, the resident hacker space potato. And Droogle uses they, them pronouns. No, this popper is not a corgi. They think he's a German Shepherd mix. Who knows? He's a mutt. But he is definitely much bigger than a corgi, and his butt is less heart-shaped. So I will pass on that note. I will pass this back over to Chase.
That's funny. Hey, exactly what you described. The dog describes me too. Much larger than a corgi, and my butt is less heart-shaped. So we are going to run a quick intro video. I'm going to recap last week's episode, and then we will get right into the exciting action. So stay with us. Roll. And we are back from that cool intro video. So, I'm going to quickly recap last week's episode, and then we will get right into it. So, where we last found our freelancers, they had infiltrated a space station owned by the large mega corporation Meridian Dynamic Structures in search for their recently kidnapped employer, Palak. They infiltrated, posing as ambassadors and unified authority soldiers, and were able to find a cryogenic storage facility owned by Novagen. After using a combination of their source abilities, subterfuge, and hacking skills, were able to infiltrate and take out a couple of the guards when they were beset by a walking kind of cybernetic robot known as the Courier, who proved to be an extremely potent combatant. After a pretty harrowing battle, including a couple of power loaders, a giant robot throwing people through walls, and the group kind of getting sucked out into the vacuum of space, the scene ended with a pretty quick chase sequence as the crew in their ship called the Qixote fled from the space around the space station while in pursuit, being pursued, I should say, by a mysterious black ship. Where we leave our heroes now is they are on the Qixote. They had kind of just reaffirmed or reagreed that their next step was to try to locate and track down the Cheops frigate owned by Antoc in an effort to put a stop to whatever Antoc is doing and to prevent whatever he recovered from the Halo shard from being used for nefarious ends. And that is where we find our heroes aboard the Qixote, plotting their next move and planning their infiltration. Get a little bit of music going here. And go ahead and get started, folks, while I take care of this.
So Takiri, did you want to? Are we starting this by you reaching out to your little pirate friend?
She'd given the ID or the comms ID to Drugel. So I think Drugel was attempting when we left off to locate where that comm device is.
I think we settled on having Drugel trying to trace based on the ID, but we weren't gonna contact until like the last moment to say get out safe because we were
Right.
worried about them tipping our hand.
Yeah, and Drugel can do that.
Awesome. Yeah, whenever you get back.
What do you need from Drugel to track? Would this be hacking or security or technology?
I would call this one first technology. So, Drugel knows that just by having somebody's contact info, it's almost impossible to find somebody's location. But Drugel knows that there are other ways around that. There is a practice where you can basically hide a file. It's like a Trojan horse, where you could set their hand terminal to broadcast its location. You could triangulate it that way. So I would say for the first roll of our breaching test, or our challenge test, I would say it's an intelligence technology.
Perfect. 18.
18. And what was your stunt die result?
5.
5. Oh, that's a strong start. So, go ahead. Would you be masking this as like a message from Dakiri? Or
No, so we're trying not to contact them at all. So this
Okay.
is just maybe I'll stick it in an ad that I borrowed from Drake's hand terminal.
Okay.
And use a bit of a Trojan horse with that ad the next time they open her up.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. So as you send an ad for the Optican 9-in-1 body wash, mouthwash, Dorito flavored wellness gel, you feel like that you buried it well enough and used a unique enough code that it would not be found by any kind of data scanners.
Perfect.
I would say after a couple of hours, you actually start getting pings in return, knowing that your check was successful. It's going to take a little bit of time for the slip space relays to kind of triangulate the position, but you have had a good success towards locating the Qixote.
What
Is there
else can
anything
I
that-
track down for us?
If we could get I think another step that we need to think about is getting a schematic of the Qixote and maybe have Dekiri's insight on who's usually where, what sorts of targets we might need to hit, and what sort of difficulty we're going to have in getting to them.
I would assume that getting a schematic for a standard Qixote wouldn't be that hard.
No, it wouldn't. If you want to, just since it's an advanced test and every roll matters, let's go ahead and roll. I think that you can use your intelligence technology right in place of research.
Yes. And then if I fail, I can re-roll and take the second roll.
Perfect.
16?
Awesome. And your stunt die result?
1.
1. Alrighty. So you are able to pretty quickly identify a blueprint for the normal Qixote pattern warship, and I will be throwing that up on the screen for you.
Yeah.
It will be in roll 20.
Nice.
That's right. They have a pyramid. I forgot about that. It's
Yeah,
a
the
gu-
Qixote is a
pyramid.
pyramid cap.
It's a Goa'uld ship.
Yep.
It is. So, exactly. And it's funny because I remember Drake was asking why it was pyramid shaped. He was curious. In doing your research, you're able to find as you were talking through. So this is the general structure. The inside of the pyramid is actually mostly hollow, and the deck plan kind of is within the walls of the pyramid. These were used as basically mobile bases by the Goa'uld. They would have whatever target civilization that they wanted to conquer, build massive stone pyramids. They would land their warships on these pyramids and use them as mobile bases that they would operate out of. There's a proliferation of those left over following the Covenant Schism, and now they've kind of fallen into the wrong hands. So you're able to find what appears to be a pretty basic deck layout. You can see that the bridge is located at almost the tip of the pyramid, and the floors are connected by a series of gravity lifts.
And they would almost always have ring transports on the Qixote. Where would those usually be?
The main ring transporters would be on deck 4. Although you do know that there is also
Oh,
ones
it's
on deck
labeled.
9.
I just can't read.
4 and 9, it looks like.
Yep.
Which makes sense. Okay. It's got a massive hangar in the middle. And you said it's a gravity lift, the centrifuge in the middle to transport through decks?
Exactly. There's secondary ones too.
What is a gravity lift?
It's basically a tunnel. You step into it, and you just are lifted. There's no floor to it. Even there's not a platform, and people can kind of move both directions. So it's kind of like a gravity. Sorry, it's kind of like an elevator, but with no cabin.
Does it just go up like by a floor at rest, goes up by a floor at rest, goes up by a floor at rest?
You basically step off where the floor that you want to get off on.
Okay then.
Yeah, exactly. It's they wouldn't meet OSHA standards by any means, but they're quite effective at moving troops quickly.
And what is a plasma relay?
Plasma relay. So they actually are like large, kind of super cooled conduits that take the radioactive plasma from the reactor in floor 5 and move it towards the engines.
Okay. I'm trying to understand like the critical points of the ship. Cool. All right.
Yep. That you would think if somebody actually would like to roll. So just to kind of give you guys some leads. So I think that Dekiri, I think you were actually on Antoc's ship itself. So you could probably provide insights about areas to hit. Cassie, you've operated on these ships, I'm sure, in the past. Like a intelligence tactics role would make sense. Engineering would make a lot of sense too.
So I think Cassie's plan was to find out from Dekiri how Antoc's Cheops differs from the standard specs, and also where Antoc tends to have people stationed and like in what size groups. And then from there, Cassie was I think Cassie's intention is to then try to determine points to attack and how to go about those. Does that make sense? Does that work?
Sure.
Is that what?
I mean, I'll let I think it all makes sense. Dekiri, if do you have any ideas or any roles that you think would fit?
I mean, it makes sense that she would do exactly that and try to say how it's modified or different. I don't know what that role would be.
Let's maybe make it an intelligence roll, but I would give you a tangential bonus of a +1 from your pilot skill, because you kind of inherently know the areas of the ship, if that sounds reasonable.
So it'd be a 14 then,
Nice.
with a 5 on the drama die.
Excellent.
Delightful.
So I'm going to capture that 5. Making excellent progress. So you know that Antoc's Cheops doesn't vary too much from a traditional Cheops pattern ship. I would say a couple of things of note. You know that the main hangar bay is often a lot more heavily guarded and has a lot more activity on it. And so if you guys were trying to surreptitiously make your way onto the ship, the secondary hangar bays on deck 13 are probably your best bet. You have to navigate a little bit more through the ship, but it's easier. You know, these ships were made to haul thousands of ground troop, or several hundred at least. And so with the number of people on the pirate ship, oftentimes the hallways are pretty empty. So deck 13 would be your best bet in kind of taking like Jeffrey's tubes and back ways. Other couple of things that you would know with that 14 and that really good 5 on the stunt die. Antoc is a little bit paranoid, so he keeps he keeps an entire deck to himself, deck 2, and the armory on deck 3 often has kind of his guards. So that being said, you can kind of bypass that if you're really trying to. Like, that is, what would you call it, like password protected, but you could get to the bridge pretty easy, especially with Drugel's bypass ability. So I would say that deck 1, 2, and 3 are a little bit of a choke point. You might need some kind of way of getting past those defenses. And just to reiterate, deck 8 might be while it might seem like the obvious choice, deck 13 would be a better choice.
Okay. And if there's anything that the Curie can share with the team as far as the associated rank and file within the hunters, like how to recognize officers versus grunts, she would do so.
How do you? I think that you had some really good ideas before in terms of what the hunters are like. How would you envision their leadership or whatnot to be differentiated?
So we certainly made it canon that the Curie had a tattoo marking that indicated sort of a storyline about her past with them, with all the pirates, not just Antoc's hunters. So I would imagine if any of them are blooded or have killed others, I would imagine that they have some sort of markings that indicate that as well.
Yep.
So maybe tattoos on the arms or on the neck.
Perfect. Yeah, so you're able to even maybe, kind of sketch out or show some examples of the tattoos. And this is taking place over the course of several hours as you kind of are, have like a 3-dimensional hollow grid up and you're kind of rotating it around and showing points of egress. Alrighty. Yeah, really good successes so far. Let's maybe start thinking about places to hit the ship, like vulnerabilities. You're gonna have a strike team from Greyscale at your disposal, and they'll be able to take on some objectives for you.
Okay.
I would think that intelligence tactics would help with this, or again, that whole intelligence pilot, like the pilot ability would identify some vulnerable areas. Engineering would also be applicable.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Right. I was gonna say Tac could roll intelligence tactics. We've been thinking about where the vulnerabilities might be. Probably plasma relays is what we're thinking for explosive placement.
That's also what I was going to roll.
You can make multiple. So
Yeah.
I would say Tac goes first. We'll see how they do, and then Cassie can fork off of that. That'll be Cassie's way of because you're working together on this. It's like a conversation.
15 with the 6 on the drama die.
Nice.
Very, very good. And remember, I don't have that window open, but actually, Decuri stunted before. Not to steal from your thunder, but just reminding you that stunts actually work in this. So, maybe while I work this through with Tac, maybe if Decuri wants to look up what they would want to spend, like investigation or
And
maybe
does
even
everyone,
infiltration stunts.
does everyone but Cassie still get the +1 from Cassie? Because we're all in the same room doing stuff.
If it's stunt points that you get to spend on stunts, then my ability should work.
Cool. And deck has 6 stun points.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys are. I'm not telling you where you are. I'm envisioning you guys like gathered around that like conference table near the
Pointing things
CIC
out.
of your ship. Exactly. So, all right, Tac. So you rolled a 15 with a 6 on the stun die. That is a success. So thinking through, I guess maybe let me ask you really quick. What's your guys' intention? Are you trying to disable or destroy the ship?
I don't know if we can destroy the ship, but I mean, I would say it'd be more about a distraction so that we can take out Antoc.
That's
Kinda.
fair.
Be kind of good to take one of these things out of circulation if we can destroy it.
Yeah.
Or-
Destroy. If we can't destroy, disable.
Yeah, permanently disabled type thing.
Excellent. Yeah, so, and Rob, I think before you had mentioned the plasma relays. That's a very good start. I think on their own, that wouldn't necessarily destroy the ship outright, but that would do a lot of majorly damaging the ship. Also, it kind of seems innocuous, but the maintenance deck actually has a lot of controls for some of the weapon systems and main gravimetric engines. So that would be another target too. They're kind of in opposite directions, but you will have a strike team of Greyscale operatives that can go take on other locations. And then with that 6 on the stunt dice, I would also say more obvious areas would be the engine room. If they took any amount of Nequadria with them, it would be in the engine room. And the bridge would also be, a bridge is a really obvious choice, but it's probably the best defended. I mean, that would be where Antoc would be.
Mm-hmm.
So an idea could be you could send, those are some of the locations that you would see. So I would say deck 1, deck 5, deck 6, and deck 15.
Makes sense.
How many rings are there on the ship?
Dozens, actually. So it's kind of hard to tell, but this thing has four facets to it, and so each of these floors is kind of mirrored. It wraps around. So I would say there would probably be, probably upward of 20 separate total ring platforms on it.
Could be interesting to send explosives through the rings to all the other ring locations.
You absolutely could do that, yeah. If you wanted to try to sow confusion, sending them from like deck 9 to deck 4, for example, or vice versa. That's actually a really good idea.
Multiple strike points would divert their forces to all of them at the same time. We hit them all at the same time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Might also make them think that we're in greater numbers than we are.
Mm.
And then, Cassie, did you still want to roll an intelligence tactics checks? I think there's still more that you could derive.
Is Dakiri going to spend stun points first?
Oh,
No,
yes. Apologies.
I could use breakthrough.
Breakthrough? That works. You want to read breakthrough for the folks at home?
Certainly. You gain not only information, but some form of incontrovertible proof. Reduce the total number of leads on the path by 1, jumping to a further point in the investigation immediately.
Gotcha. I would say, let me think about this. I would say as you are staring at these, I've got it. I would say as you're staring at these deck plans, you actually, you have a little bit of like an epiphany or a eureka moment where you're thinking back to your time aboard Antoc's ship and you were docking with the ship. And you have a distinct memory of sitting in the pilot seat, looking over at your co-pilot's screen, and seeing the basically like a shield modulation frequency to allow your ship to pass through the enemy shields while they're up. You know that the pirates are not, while they control the ship, they're not necessarily engineers. They're more like talented amateurs, and you're thinking that they probably don't have good operational security. You're pretty sure that modulation frequency would still work to get you through the enemy shields.
I like it. Dakiri shares that with Tac and the rest.
Awesome. Cassie, did you have anything you wanted to roll? Ah, perfect. And you stunted.
I stunted.
With 4 stunt points.
4 stunt points.
6. You guys are rolling pretty hot today. The lowest roll being a 13. That's good. Real good.
Cursing us.
Yeah, I mean, you're using all the good rolls until, you're fighting 6 couriers and Antoc at the same time. Yeah,
Right.
so let me just think really quick. I had something in mind and it kind of evaporated. Cassie, I would say you're thinking back as you're kind of staring at the schematic, and you notice something that is not on the schematic, but your symbiote remembers from the layout of these old ships, that there's some undocumented maintenance shafts that connect some of the floors that can be used to kind of they're used by, normally they're called Hurogok, or engineers. They're this kind of alien species that would maintain the ships. But you think that you guys could use those to surreptitiously travel between floors. So
Okay.
that'll serve you well on your path.
Or does that encompass from floor to floor to floor, or does it stop around? I mean, do those exist in the officers' quarters and above?
They do. They exist between all floors. The Hurogok basically were the machines that kept the ships running, so they had full access. Now, they how will I put it? They varied from ship to ship because these ships were kind of grown. They weren't really built using nanite colonies, and so they invariably had some kind of minor differences. But yeah, knowing that they're there and kind of how they operate, you can use those to your advantage.
Okay.
Awesome.
Um, and I guess Cassie was also just trying to figure out like what their objective should be versus where we should be directing the Greyscale operatives. And yeah, just general like plans of attack. Who's going to be best suited for what? And I have 4 stunt points to spend too.
Beautiful.
I guess I could use down the rabbit hole.
Down the rabbit hole. You want to read that for
This
the
test
folks?
led to a reveal, right? Which is a reveal of the tunnels, the secret passageways.
Secret tunnels.
If this test led to a reveal, the GM also provides a brand new lead about a subject that will lead to greater reports.
Got it. And using kind of that information that you were trying to provide before, so
maybe or maybe keeping kind of in the spirit of where things are going. Maybe we could find out where the stuff is that they stripped from the Halo ring.
got it.
Like maybe we could find a way to recover that as like a
recover
bonus.
that information?
What?
Yeah, recover that information.
Or like the things that they actually stripped.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a way for us to recover that before detonating this, but as a possible tertiary objective.
Oh yeah, because if we send explosives anywhere near that ship and they have any of that mine stuff on there, it's gonna make the explosives a billion times worse.
Oh yeah, the Nequadria is likely located in the engine room. That's the explosive material.
And that's exactly what Cassie and Caladriel would deduce. The engine room is heavily shielded, so you know that Covenant ships use what's called a pinch fusion reactor. It uses gravity and magnetic manipulation to create like the effects of like a star at the center. And by piping basically raw Nequadria into that, you're able to drastically improve the efficiency of the engines.
Damn. And then I don't know if there's anything else that they would have been able to recover regarding like that anomaly or the slip shard that we wouldn't have had time to observe or to determine.
Let me think.
It's just a thought. I don't know how you want
Yeah.
to incorporate it or if we want to incorporate it. I was just thinking aloud.
Sure. As you guys are kind of, and again, I'm envisioning this as kind of a collaborative effort as you guys are talking. and kind of comparing notes. You do remember that the anomaly seemed to be affected by not just by shield generators, but you could theorize that maybe like the quantum field that the slip space engine created would also be effective at managing them based off your experience with that slip space shard. So again, all signs kind of point to the engine room, because that's the source of the most powerful containment field on the ship.
Okay.
So if you were if they took the anomaly, if it was anywhere, it'd be there.
So I guess from that, Cassie determines that it's best for us to target the engine room and to send Greyscale operatives for some of the other objectives.
Perfect. Yep. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that would put us close to, where Antoc is likely to be.
So if we come in at 13, send them to 15 and 9, and then we head up towards the engines and Antoc.
Yeah, and the Greyscale operatives can also, we can all coordinate to send explosives through various ring rooms all at the same time as a distraction for us to make our way and get what we need to get done in the engine room.
Do we know if the transporters that your acquaintances lending us have ring transmitters on them?
Do I know if we're gonna have a ship with rings?
Yeah. So Tashina said that you have a teltac, stealth capable teltac. So it does have rings, but if you do know also if the shields are up, that the rings won't work. But you think that you have the shield modulation frequency, so you might be able to do it inside.
And if we're docking in 13, then the ship is inside the shield anyways.
Yep. So yeah, you could send some rings up
from the ship to the other ring rooms all at the same time.
That's true. That's true.
And you can, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can ring from one ring room to another ring room within the ship, right?
Yeah, I would say you can. Yep, absolutely. There's no reason why not.
So, yeah, you could do it that way.
Quick way to maneuver through the ship.
So if the Greyscale Labs can get to a couple ring rooms, they can ring explosives to other ring rooms.
Perfect. Yeah. Sounds like a solid plan. So you guys are gonna initially send the strike team to deck 15 to start hitting some of the things for the engines and the weapons, and then after they're done there, they can head to up to deck 9 and ring explosives elsewhere on the ship. You guys could probably realistically use the maintenance corridors to go from 13 up to 6 if you wanted to plant any explosives on the plasma relays there, and then you could take the gravity lift into the engine room. It's a very solid plan.
When we get on the ship,
all right,
Drugel, you should immediately try to hack security systems to interrupt communications intership.
Absolutely can do.
Awesome. I think that your guys' plan, you feel very solid about your plan. It's probably the best that you can do, given the situation. I would say after several hours of planning and deliberation, Drugel, you do receive telemetry kind of triangulating the position of the signal, or at least where the pirate contact is. You can see it's a few thousand light years away. I will mark it on the galaxy map really quick for you to see, giving you a few days to kind of rest up and finish preparing, I would say. It's that red exclamation point on the map. You can see that it's that the system that it's in is an uninhabited system. It has just a few unremarkable rocky bodies and a blue star or a blue sun. Probably chosen for its remoteness and lack of any kind of normal population. Rocky bodies. Oh yeah. All right. So, one last thing to note. As you guys had you had identified before, given the position, you guys are able to drop out of slip space with pretty good precision. And you also know that when a ship drops out of slip space, especially a cloak ship, like there's a fraction of a second where the cloak is down and you emit a lot of radiation. But a skilled pilot could bring the ship out of slip space behind one of those planets and kind of mask their entry. So, sounds like you guys have a plan. There's no barriers standing in your way if you guys want to meet up with Tashin, get the heavies and whatever equipment that they can offer you. The breaching test will even continue. The breaching is like a montage, so it's going to cover even your initial infiltration to the ship. But you have a really solid base right now.
Ah.
So there's two other factors with Antoc. Number one, he has a javelin.
He sure does. I was gonna bring that up if you didn't.
Do we know of any ways to exploit that, to turn that into a weakness by any chance?
Remind Liz what a javelin is.
Power
It's
suit.
a combat focused power suit. Increased durability, increased strength, flight.
Do people live in them, or is this something that you like don like a fighter pilot would?
A little bit of both. So, I mean, you can walk around in them just normally. It increases. It makes you several feet taller, but one person could operate in them for days at a time. There's nothing stopping you. But yeah, thinking of it kind of like a fighter jet is almost how they can be used.
I've seen him take out mid to large size ships almost on his own once he's inside.
So does that particular pilot live in theirs as a pirate, or again, is it like something that you hang up in the closet?
Could we catch him without it on?
Yes, this is what I'm asking.
Dakiri, you've never seen Antoc outside of their armor. You know that Antoc is a Sashan, but you've never been in Antoc's private quarters as well, so.
Oh, Antoc wears the armor.
Yeah.
That was my
He's
disconnect.
definitely gonna have it on.
Oh.
And you remember it's kind of a keep what you kill, and Antoc's a little bit paranoid too, so you've never seen Antoc out of it.
Also
Man
brings me
sleeps in his armor.
to the second point, which is that he is a Sashan and capable of flight.
Oh.
Now, is he able to fly in the javelin?
Oh yeah, it's got thrusters. It can fly very fast.
Does the javelin have to ever be plugged into the ship for any reason?
I mean, if they were doing kind of diagnostic upgrades and whatnot, if something was wrong with it potentially, or if he was trying to get data out of it, maybe.
Was the power source renewable?
It's a fusion reactor. It's a miniature fusion reactor, so I mean.
Can we disrupt the
Dark shit.
electronics, lock it down, do anything like that? Is there a way you could connect in, Drupal?
If I could touch it for 10 minutes, yeah. Otherwise, we got 2 levels before I can do that remotely.
I'll just make you invisible, and then you can just sit there and touch him for 10 minutes and he won't notice. Just don't breathe.
And I don't suppose we're capable of an EMP.
An overcharged plasma pistol has an EMP-like effect.
We were, and then I used it to cover the shard.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, because I still have the supercapacitor though. I don't know. I don't know if I could rig the supercapacitor attached up to one of the beam weapons and like use it like an EMP.
You do remember that the actually, I would say this. You do remember that when the Sentinels exploded, that they did give off an EMP-like effect. That if you were close enough to, could ostensibly temporarily disable, like parts of the thing. It has mechanical redundancies, but you could certainly hinder somebody in a ship. And
Okay.
I would also say, because you guys are sitting here looking at like the reactor room, you know that in the center of that cavernous room is a fusion reaction that's going on, being contained by extremely powerful magnetic fields. So if somebody goes into that, that's a hazard that would probably force electronics to hard reset. So if you find some way to get them in there, but yeah. And you also do know that plasma pistols, which are pretty readily available when overcharged, do have a short-lived EMP-like effect. 1 round.
And the repulsors from the Sentinels this is why I was considering seeing if we can modify these into jetpacks for facing him.
I think we just need to bring Catbap, give Catbap a plasma pistol, and tell him to go to town.
Dual plasma pistols.
Overcharged plasma pistol can hinder this thing a little bit.
Yep. Might slow it down, might limit its flight capabilities.
So I see over the next 2 days, Droogle trying to figure out how to create anti-grav boots with thrusters on them and stealing tack to make overcharged pistols of some sort for as many people as we can.
Awesome. I would say with the time that you have, you might have time, each of you, to make like 1 pair, you know? Plasma pistols are very readily available. If you tell Tashin that you want plasma pistols, I mean, they can get you those in spades. If you want to do something with the Sentinel beams or with the anti-grav to give yourself some flight capabilities, that's certainly capable too. It's going to be quick and dirty. Like if you wanted to use it in the long term, picture like Tony Stark building something in a cave with a box of scraps versus like...
Because Tack and Droogle had started making the boots for Dakiri, hadn't we?
I think you had one interlude. I think you'd had one interlude where you'd started making progress towards it, yeah.
Yeah, and I would just assume that we would add on to that, and
yeah,
just finish.
Because I can't imagine that would take like weeks or anything.
No, I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying like you know, like to get something done in a day. Yeah, to get something in a day or two, it's not going to be perfect, you know.
So.
Yeah, so I would say so you guys are wanting to, just to be clear, are you trying to make some anti-grav boots for Dakiri and to do something with the Sentinel beams, or I'm just trying to understand what you guys want to do?
Just probably the boots for Dakiri and then getting extra plasma pistols.
Okay. Then I would say maybe it's going to be a group thing. It'll probably be an intelligence technology and an engineering test.
Okay. I've got just 3 stun points.
Awesome.
Oof. At least it's happening now.
I got 1 stun point.
Did you do? No. You were supposed to do engineering.
I don't have engineering.
Yeah, I'm just saying like that's
did.
an applicable thing. 15 is okay. So I would say with 3 stunt points. Okay. I would say, yeah, you're able to make the boots. The boots, I would say, have the. So you're able to make these anti-grav boots and make them adjustable. So it would give Dekiri basically a fly speed equal to her own speed. I would say though that they have the unreliable flaw, in that at the end of each round that they're used, you have to roll a d6. If you roll a 4 or higher, they stop working and have to be kind of reactivated by clicking them together again.
There's no
If
place
you roll
like
a
home.
Yeah.
Drugul's painted them shiny red so that they are
Yes.
coruscated just a little bit.
Red bottoms.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
if you roll
that's right.
if you roll a 6 on that 5 or higher, then they actually require some kind of outside intervention to do. If you're unfortunate enough to roll a 6.
Oh. So 4,
Well-
5 drop, 6 you drop, and intervention required.
Well, at least if you're in space, it'll give you the opportunity to get back on a ship. So
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Approximately how heavy is Antoc and his javelin? If I'm trying to move them, 1,000
400
pounds.
pounds.
400. Okay, that's doable.
Yeah. Yeah, you know that he's in a Ranger javelin, so it's not the heaviest.
That was my
Not the
next
heaviest.
question. I was like, is this Ranger, Juggernaut, Storm, or Interceptor?
Interceptor.
Losses. Just getting bashed around the ship.
Of course, it's a Ranger. The
Yep.
lowest. Type.
Perfectly balanced. So, yeah, so I would say kind of playing into the montage scene. So there's several hours of Dekiri and Tack in the kind of engineering bay of the Qixote. The kind of the sparks flying and the soldering and whatnot. And eventually you're able to kind of come up with it's kind of a belt that also has a corresponding pair of boots and little kind of control gauntlets on your hands so you can organize yourself. And these kind of gravity repulsors have been designed into something you can kind of control with your body, Dekiri.
So what I'm hearing is that there will be an Anthem mini game during the
Oh yeah, I mean,
scenes.
yeah, exactly. And I would say, if you want to have any scenes with them, you're able to get back to Reltak Nor with no problem, liaise with Tashin, and you're introduced to the group of heavies that would be escorting you. It's a mix of mask and femme humanoid and Surakan like operatives. They don't provide their names. You know that you're provided aliases, and they're pretty pragmatic. They mean business. They just kind of keep to themselves. And you also see the ship that you will be using to infiltrate. It's kind of a beat up Teltac. There's thousands of them in this part of the galaxy. It would go completely without notice. Yeah. Exactly. So,
At some point, Dekiri would probably pull Drake aside. I could use some help on that recentering, and my guess is after that last encounter, you could too.
Sure. You want to meditate together?
I do.
Okay. We can do that.
Are you okay? I thought I felt something in there, almost as if you touched the live wire.
I thought about it, but as it turns out, I didn't have any juice left. So we were saved from that particular spiral.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry. Did we retcon that? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have enough PowerPoints left. Because the dark side, they're discounted, but they're not that discounted. Yeah. No, I'm all right. I thought about plucking her out of there with the source, because my fear was the thing would get to it first and then we'd be screwed. But as it turns out, I could just do it the old-fashioned way. These muscles. And Drake flexes. Because I'm ripped. Yeah. Really hot.
I have a favor to ask. That cube that Nails showed us, I don't know what to believe as to whether or not it's true, but most of my life I've wanted captains like Antoc utterly destroyed. But I'm beginning to think that maybe there's another path, and I don't. The cube showed me a future in which all of you are gone, and that I took Rot's place. And you once made a pact with Cassie about ensuring that you don't go to that place. And so I'm asking you, Drake, if you'll do the same for me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If we can take him alive, it's an if. I don't want to risk anyone on the team, but if it's a possibility, I'd like to do that.
Antoc?
Yes.
Wow. I'm an expert at taking people alive.
She laughs at that. I suppose those security guys are still. Wait a second. They were never able to evacuate, were they?
Well, I didn't kill them.
Yeah. So I'm trying to keep a handle on this stuff now, and just keep Cassie safe too, please.
Always. But I'm not losing sleep over war mercenaries. Just so we're clear.
No, I'm not either, but I do want, once we hit and are inside the CHAOPS, to get some message across to those that may want to flee on the unarmed escape pods. There's a lot of them still like me that are looking for an opportunity and can't get out. The officers, they're too far gone. And that's why I wanted to make sure that you understood the difference between them in the ranks.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that way before all of this, but I think Drugel and Cass are wearing off on me.
Mm. Yeah. Well, let's just, take care of the ship. I mean, there's no reason to make it a massacre of the whole crew.
Okay, so how do we start this centering thing again?
You just got to think of your happy place. Actually, that's not true. You have to, of course, sit down first, and then you empty your mind, and then you think of your happy place. And I will meditate with Dakiri.
Perfect. I would say as the days pass and you basically transfer onto the Teltac ship and start your journey into slip space towards where you know that Antoc's Cheops is now definitively confirmed by the triangulation of several slip space buoys. You've become a little spoiled by your time aboard the Qixote. The Cheops is the Teltac is quite a bit smaller, and the Greyscale group keeps to themselves in the cargo bay in the back as you guys are preparing for your infiltration. before you were going to depart from Reltech Nor, Catbap says to the group, I don't know how useful I'm going to be on that ship, but if you want me to kind of stay back in the Qixote and, jump in there at the first sign of trouble, I'm happy to do that.
I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah. The Droogle would point out the nearest star system, so it would take, a 5-minute jump or something like that
Mhm.
for Cap-Bap. I think this would be a nice little vacation spot for you, and make sure you've got your blaster pistol and your golden gun, or it had a name. What was it?
Yeah, it's named after you. It's the acronym of your names.
DDD.
Yeah. Yeah, and Catbap kind of pulls out this oversized, although it looks normal sized and his overly large hands, a gold-plated Magnum, and it says, I've been practicing with this baby. I've been waiting for a chance to use it, and kind of, starts pointing it around with very little trigger discipline around the cabin of the ship.
Cap-Bap, we've been over this.
Spins it on their finger and kind of puts it back into their belt.
Wow.
Is there a nitrogen-based planet somewhere? Because that's what he breathes, right?
Methane.
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 Yeah, methane.
Is there a methane-based planet in that circle around where we're gonna be?
I would say, yeah, within a few dozen light years, there's one with a particularly high amount of methane.
Perfect. Then that's the one I would point him to, so that he wouldn't have to worry about wearing a helmet or anything.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll wait for the signal. My call sign is Gold Leader. Just remember.
If you touch down on that planet and you see any strange looking eggs, make sure that you investigate them with your face first.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, eggs are delicious.
Yeah.
Didn't we promote you to Gold Commander last mission?
Did we?
You did something.
There's 2 ships now.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Get a third and I'm going to be an admiral.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
You're Gold Commander now because of that stuff. Because you pulled off that airlock. That thing. Whatever.
Yeah! Holds up his oversized hands. All seriousness aside, though, I mean, all kidding aside,
No more seriousness.
no more seriousness.
We were
Serious Catbap is out the window. You can count on me. I'll be waiting for you.
We know we can count on you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Especially since, if you take off with that ship, there's nowhere Droogle can't find you.
And I can haunt you in your dreams.
Well, I mean, if you guys all die on the ship, then it's mine. Right?
I just be. There's no death for me, buddy. I'll become one with the source and haunt you to the end of your days.
That's right.
Well, hey, I won't be alone. What was it?
Friend.
Oh yeah.
I'm just teasing Cat.
It's a good haunting, right? Yeah.
Drake, I
Hi.
don't know, but I'm just teasing.
Drake, I mean, you can haunt me if you want. I'm just letting you know it might get a little weird at some points, but it's all good.
It will get weird, but not for the reasons you think, Cap-Pep.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm gonna be ready.
I'll be watching you.
Commander, Gold Commander. So he kind of walks out.
Opening Drake's file. Can haunt in death.
Question mark?
I made that up. I don't know if I could really do that.
The source is the gateway to some abilities. That's So I would say as you near your final few hours to the approach, um, are there any remaining scenes that anyone would like to have before you try to infiltrate the Cheops? Not just in simulation, but
Um,
I think Drugel would drop by Dakiri's room at some point. Or like the bridge or wherever Dakiri is at. Um. Alright.
Hey, Driggle. That belt you guys made is it's really something else.
Just be careful with it. Because you're talking about the boots, right? The repulsor.
Oh, the boots, yeah.
We haven't worked out all the kinks yet. So just clip your heels together if you have any issues. How
She
you
looks down
feeling?
at the boots and messes with the controls a little bit. Feeling in what way? I mean, it seems like they work.
Oh, no, nope, nope. We're heading towards all that.
I know what you mean, Drugel. I'm
I know.
avoiding it a little bit.
I'm sure Cassie will make you feel better. But kind of forms a hand and softly pats you on the shoulder, probably a little harder than they mean to. Just remember we're here. You don't have to do anything alone. And
I did have one thought that could use your help.
I can be helpful?
You're always helpful, Drugel.
Debatable.
The ships of the Cheops. If we
Mhm.
don't, I'm wondering if any of them are possible of slipstream drive if we could essentially override one so that the course can't be changed from inside the ship.
So you're thinking that once they know we're on board, you think they'll try to put themselves into slip space?
No. Let's just say I'm looking for a little bit of a gift wrapping if we're successful in all of this.
Okay.
I want one of the ships to be such that we can lock it on a destination, but that whoever's inside it can't change the course.
Got it. So we set it up to blow, we send it to somebody and explode it.
No, nothing so drastic. Just a delivery system.
Oh, but we're destroying the ship. Why would we want to send it anywhere?
Oh, it's what I want to send in it as a
Oh.
message.
Yes, it's possible, unless they have a better hacker than I am.
Oh, that won't be a problem.
Then yes. I'll see if I can write some code that we can uplink. And just give me coordinates.
Thanks, Trugo.
Yeah.
Both for that and for checking in.
Well, These people, they weren't necessarily family, but they were important, for better or for worse. And it's always a lot. So
My view is shifted a bit. They need to be stopped, and I won't shed any tears for what Drake does to some of them. But I think I have a new path now.
hopefully we can join you.
Well, the four of you are my path.
Well, Drugel doesn't know what to do with that. Oh no. Well, then we're here. So
Thanks.
again with the shoulder pats, and then would trundle off to write some code, pinging Dakiri for coordinates, and of course checking where those coordinates are because Drugel's nosy. But making sure that there was 2 copies of it, one for Dakiri on whatever works as a flash drive that they could plug in and it would auto Trojan. And then of course Drugel having one that they could use their bypass and upload quick hacks to
Perfect.
stick into the ship or system from anywhere. Dakiri would probably have to be at the slip drive, but I'm imagining Drugel with their extra information would be able to do it from anywhere on the ship.
So the coordinates would be a safe distance from a UA base of operations.
Oh, so you could
Terrible
send him to
stuff.
jail.
Are you asking that, or?
That would be Drugel's assumption.
Mhm.
And probably while they're putting a code together and doing things, this is a new path. So just kind of talking to themselves. Putting a note on Dakiri's tab, happy bean. Yay.
Any other scenes?
Yeah, I think at some point Cassie would find a quiet corner to talk to Drake for a quick minute. Just touch base on some stuff.
Oh man, you're here.
Yeah. Imagine that.
I just got done talking to your woman.
Yeah, well. How's she doing?
She threatened to kill me.
That's good.
She
Great.
had this wild look in her eyes.
Yeah.
So she's about the same.
Well, that's good. But source-wise, nothing like you felt that first time, huh?
No. The power that Dakiri is using is not intrinsic. Excuse me, that's Matthew. She doesn't need to juice up every time she uses that from the live wire. That's just the source.
Okay.
It's just the first time she was able to access it was through the dark side.
I am glad to hear that. That was my feeling, my gut on that. However, I am getting the impression that it hasn't been the same for you since we left Nails.
What do you mean?
Well, I saw that look in your eye at least once during that last fight with the courier.
Yeah, the thought crossed my mind, but I didn't do it.
How are you feeling?
We keep getting in over our head, but I mean, that's just life. There's nothing we could do if we want to
Okay.
do the things we do.
Yeah. You don't feel like you've lost that balance that you need?
I have no dark side points. No, I'm honestly like maintaining
Your last meditation, your willpower check was sufficient?
my I'm at peace. I thought about tapping in to get Sarah out of that loader, but I just ended up doing it the old-fashioned way.
Sorry, can you say that part one more time?
Um,
Distracted by all the keyboards.
I said I'm at inner. I have inner peace. I'm fine.
Okay.
I thought about taking her out with the dark side, getting her out of that mecha loader because I was scared of that thing ripping her out of it and getting access to that thing's strength.
Gosh, can you imagine?
Yeah, it would have been over for at least one of us.
Yeah.
I literally punched that thing through a concrete wall and it got up like, what's up? Actually tacked it and then I punched it through another hole.
I mean, I launched several grenades at that thing.
Yeah.
It was like a mosquito bite. Like barely an inconvenience.
Yeah. It's kind of cool though.
Wow.
Like if I ever like get blown up and like you guys have to reassemble me, like make me one of those. That'd be badass.
Wouldn't that interfere with your ability to tap on the source?
Yeah, but I'll have super strength, so like who cares?
I mean, yeah, well, fair enough. All right. I'm glad you're doing better.
Yeah, seeing nails and being able to honestly having another like novice to train with is really cool. It keeps me on my toes. It makes me. I mostly do this stuff on instinct. I mean, nails trained me, but a lot of it on it like I'm not the most sagacious source user, so being forced to like try to teach someone else about it really makes me think about and question some of my things that I just take for granted.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like learning all over again when you start teaching somebody else something.
Yeah.
You think you know what you know, and then you realize that you have a lot more to learn.
Well,
a lot more to gain.
I remember a line. I can't remember who it was, but they said the capacity to know is different than the capacity to explain.
It's really apt. Yeah.
Just because we're incapable of explaining something doesn't mean we don't know it.
Yeah. It's very true. Good point. You still feeling... I know you've gotten some of your memories kind of coming back. How are you feeling in terms of those affecting your balance?
I don't think they affect my balance. I mean, they make me question some stuff, but I mostly just stay up and I just mostly think about Director Shepard, who they were, what they're doing out there, if they're still out there, if they're looking for me.
I ask because you say you do a lot of the stuff on instinct, and we still don't really fully understand where a lot of that instinct comes from, except that we do know that it doesn't come from a great place.
Yeah.
Not through necessarily any fault of yours. I'm not trying to I'm just saying, you know, we know that that's there.
Like it's like sometimes when I'm in a fight, I'm tracing it's like I'm tracing a pattern that I can't even see, but I trace it anyway. Or I repeat steps that I've stepped before, but I don't know what those steps are. Taking out prestige security. I mean that stuff that felt textbook to me.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to think.
I am glad you have instincts that you can reach to help you and all of us like make it through these things. But I can't say I'm not a little concerned about where that could lead. So you know, just talking about things about, you know, instincts and not fully understanding where they come from, and especially the ones that were developed in not great places. So if you start remembering things that you want to talk about, or if I, again, like, catch you acting on some instincts with that look in your eye, we'll talk to each other, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
I'm glad you're doing better. And I'm glad your memories aren't fucking you up. We got enough to worry about, right?
We haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the things we're worried about. When that courier
You're right.
When that courier ship showed up, I didn't know what to think for a half a beat. I thought it was Oni, and we had finally fucking poked the bear one too many times.
Yeah. Well, private corp. Some of those private corps are no better. Some of them are scarier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Novagen and Oni can give each other a run for their money.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we weren't dealing with both at once, is all. Because the same thought was running through my mind when that shit popped up.
Yeah. When I was taking out that one security officer, I had a terrible joke enter my head, which was, "Here's your maintenance request."
I mean, wow, that's a grim one.
Yeah.
Considering.
Yeah. I don't think they made it out alive, huh?
Well, they definitely didn't make it through with all the limbs they entered with.
Then again, we let Sarah Paulson live, and what did she do?
Some people are just gonna make those
Sarah Palmer.
decisions. Sarah Palmer.
Not not Academy Award nominee Sarah Paulson, who I love and adore for many dedicated LGBTQIA plus roles. But Sarah Palmer, the NPC in this show. You know, I don't think we should let Sarah Paulson live.
Yeah. No, I hear you, and at least we know that we gave her the chance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wrestle with that too sometimes.
Maybe I'll try not to chop off so many limbs, but honestly, I pull out the blade of light. It's really hard to stun with this thing.
It has a pommel, Drake.
I've used it before, but sometimes I don't have the
No, I know.
the access. It's not they don't always, some of them they have helmets, and sometimes I don't have the what am I thinking of, the strike point, you know, that kind of thing.
You want a stun baton for your offhand?
No. They don't always have the opening. I gotta go for the openings they give me, and sometimes that means taking a leg.
Yeah, and honestly, if they're coming at you with lethal blows, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. They would have lit me up if they had the chance, so.
Some of them tried with a shotgun.
They sure did, point blank in my face with a shotgun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not losing any sleep over that. But yeah, we don't want to be going around just carnage. That's not what I'm about. We're going to try to limit the brutality to the brutal stuff to the officers on this run that Curie was mentioning.
It's good.
But if anyone tries to shoot me point blank face in the shotgun, I mean, with the shotgun, I mean, it is what it is. Which, by the way, why does everyone that we come up against use a shotgun? It's like they all know it's like this cheap little thing that has this spreading property, and like it's really cheesy. It's like pick an odd job in GoldenEye or something.
Yeah,
must
not
know
a
it's
single
be-
Zat or anything like that.
Yeah.
If you must know, it's because they have very, they don't over-penetrate. So on a spaceship, that's a good quality to have.
Whatever. That's an excuse.
That's the reason.
I bet Antoc has a shotgun.
I bet they're built into his javelin.
Every angle.
All right. Well, time to try to get some rest, I guess, before the big kerfuffle, the big hoopla.
Yeah.
If it's, I would say maybe, so I think it's good time to take a little break, and then we will resume with you guys boarding the ship and making your way to the engine room. You guys have laid out a very solid plan. You know your tactics, you have your targets, and yeah, you guys are set up for success. You're feeling really solid about all the planning you've done so far. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break, folks. We'll be back. Stick around with us. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. We are giving away copies of the Expanse RPG core rulebook, Abzu's Bounty, and who knows? I mean, we hit 12 churn already. We might hit something higher, 30 by the end of the night. So we'll see you in 10 minutes. And we are back. Thanks for sticking with us through that quick intermission. Where we left our heroes, they were heroes. That's a generous term. Where we last left our freelancers, they had come up with a very solid plan for how to access Antoc's Cheops. They had located it out in a remote system definitively, and had brought along several Greyscale operatives with explosives and some plasma pistols. Everyone basically has a plasma pistol at their disposal. Yeah, so where we are going to resume, the cloak capable Teltac is approaching this random star system, um, and I think the next step would be for Dakiri to roll me a dexterity piloting test to successfully emerge from slip space behind one of these rocky bodies to mask your radiation signature.
Oh, not great. 13.
Are you going to use any fortune to modify your roll?
I am now 4. So that'll make
Gotcha.
it +3 to 16.
16. So, I would say, yeah, you and that's with a single stunt point, and this would be infiltration. So, are there any infiltration stunts that you want to use?
Ready? 1 second. Yes. I don't know if this would apply to the group, but how about just a shadow? Gain +1 for the next test this encounter, as long as we remain unnoticed.
That's perfect. So, yeah, so I would say you are able to expertly drop the Teltec behind a large solid moon. As you are kind of come around its horizon, you can pick up on sensors just a little ways off. Medium range sensors is the unmistakable signature of the Cheops frigate. You're able to very easily activate the stealth capabilities of the ship, and you know that you are being masked not only from sensors but from vision as well, as the ship goes purely invisible. There's no rolls required because there's no risk of failure. As you approach, you can see that the Cheops is just kind of hanging, I would say, a small distance away from the blue star that sits at the center of this small solar system. As you bring the Cheops the Teltac closer, and approach the proximity where its shield would be, using that breakthrough that you had earlier, you are able to use the shield modulation frequency, and the Teltac passes through the energy shield that protects this large warship. You can see as you draw closer, you're just impressed by the size of this ship. It extends for at least 100 meters in either direction as you approach this small open landing bay on the 13th level of the ship. Rob, do you want to go ahead and pull up the deck plans again on the screen?
I'm curious. The ship has cloaking technology,
The small ship that you're in, yes.
and does that mean we're like naked to like observation decks, like to the human eye, we're invisible?
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of these small cargo ships didn't normally come with any type of shields or weapons, and oftentimes this was their really only defense.
Cool.
Somebody with sufficient, well, I say, electronic warfare could detect them. You know.
Right.
Yeah. I would say you're able to easily pilot the Teltac into what appears to be an empty cargo bay. They are completely unaware of your presence, and you can see from your observations there's a very token kind of security detail of just a couple pirates wandering in and out of the deck. Pulling up the three-dimensional schematics, you're able to direct your Greyscale team to their objectives, and they're able to set off. And the next test I would need would be a dexterity stealth test as you want to kind of make your way through the ship towards your own objectives.
Drugel would try to plug into the first security box they saw.
Okay. So let's make that dexterity stealth test first, and then we'll get to the security tests. So
Do all of us make it?
I would say one of you can. It's representative. 17 with 6 on a stunt die and 6 stunt points. 7 because you can see Cassie.
Tempted to say calm the waters, but I'm not going to do it.
30 to 5. Ooh.
It wasn't me for 4, I guess.
Okay.
And then can I take adrenaline rush on a non-combat?
It's a general one, right? Or it says general combat. I'll say yeah. I'm easygoing. If you want to spend 2 of your stunt points on adrenaline rush to get 2 points back, that's fine.
Cool.
So you realize that all of your preparation paid out. These kind of maintenance shafts where Cassie had laid out are exactly where expected. Dakiri, you kind of thought through what some of the security rotations would be like, and you guys are able to make your way through the ship with almost, you almost don't encounter anybody. There's a 1 or 2 points where you have to kind of stop and wait as people pass by. But really, things seem to be going off better than could have been expected. I'm gonna a little bit of music, and stop. Oh, what just happened?
Okay.
Alrighty. I would say that you guys have made your way up a few levels, so you were on deck 13. Once you got to deck 10, Drugel, you said that you were wanting to make a security test?
Yeah, hack into the security whenever possible.
Okay, yeah, you are. I would say after several minutes, you guys receive a radio broadcast from deck 15 that they have made it to some of the maintenance shafts and are starting to place some of the remote detonated explosives as you come to a security terminal.
Yeah, because that's what Dakiri wanted me to do, right?
Yeah.
As part of the plan, yeah?
Oh, I remember Takiri asking about that. Right, Takiri?
Okay. 14 with 1 stun point. Well, 2 to use.
Perfect. 14 makes it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Just on the money.
And I think because cover your tracks is one of my favored stunts, I can use it for 2 instead of 3, right?
Favorite stun is just one that you use often. Like if you have some objects and things have abilities where you can use it for less.
I thought
favorite
one of these
stunts is
things
just-
gave me a thing. I could be wrong.
I think maybe monsters do that with favorite stunts. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think from my understanding, favorite stunts are just ones that you use frequently.
There was something that gave me a -1 to a stunt, but I don't see it on my list here. I guess I didn't transcribe it appropriately, so can't do that. So would this fall under investigation as well, or just infiltration?
I think infiltration is the most appropriate.
Okay.
Favorite stunt is an item quality that reduces the stunt cost by 1 of that
Right.
stunt.
It was one of my hacking or maker things. I just can't remember which one it is.
Okay.
Okay. Then none of these stunts actually do anything for me. Sure, let's use both those points as just a shadow. Gain 1+1 per SP spent on your next test during this encounter as long as you remain unnoticed.
Excellent. Very cool. So you're able to you find that their security system is kind of somewhat out of date, and you're able to very quickly upload that Trojan that you were talking about into
Oh no,
the
this was to
navigational.
keep us This was to keep us quiet. I don't know that we necessarily
Oh.
want to activate the Trojan yet.
Okay, the keeping us
Yeah.
quiet. Sorry, I apologize. I misread. I misremembered. So yeah.
Yeah, no. The Trojan is something that I want to be able to plug in as we're leaving, so that
Right.
we don't get pulled along with it. Because I didn't build in like a remote activator. It's just like when it goes, it goes.
Okay. Yeah, so I would say then with your security test that you're able to very quickly infiltrate their security and kind of deactivate all the sensors and whatnot along the maintenance corridors where you're going. You basically have free access to the plasma relays and then to the engine room after.
Can we see who's on the bridge?
Yeah, if you kind of very quickly cut one of the security cams to the bridge, you can see Antoc and various crew members kind of sitting at their stations.
And then I will relay how many people are on the bridge, and I'm assuming we're connected to our secondary team and give them general access to where people are on the ship.
Okay. They acknowledge the information was received, keeping radio silence mostly. Awesome. You guys, I will say, I'm getting tongue-tied. You have succeeded. You have met the complete threshold for the challenge or the breaching test. All of your careful planning and good rolls have paid off. You're able to, with almost no trouble, make your way to deck 6 to the plasma relays, and set the charges that Tashin's Greyscale group gave you. And now the only step that is left is to step into the gravity lift that would take you to the engine room. You've completely evaded detection. But you know that there's not really hiding once you get to the engine room, if that makes sense. This is probably gonna.
Yeah. Who's gonna be setting the charges? We're setting charges in the engine room. Is that a thing?
Yeah, you will be. Each of you was given some in case somebody got taken out, so it's a major action to set a charge, so anyone can.
Okay. Well, as a form of preparation, Drake will invoke the source. Ooh, what a shitty roll. I will actually go ahead and bump that 1 to a 2. Actually, no. Actually, that's a fantastic roll. Never mind, I changed my mind. I'm gonna spend 2 fortune to generate 5 stunt points and meet my TN for invisibility. I'm gonna use 4 of the stunt points to split the power, making me and Drugel. Double checking that I can do this. Yep, you are a subject. Me and Drugel are invisible, so you'll be invisible to the end of the encounter. But you're invisible you're invisible. But if you make an attack of any kind or like a hostile action, it drops till the start of your next turn. While invisible, you have a +5 to your defense, and you can only be targeted by people who have some idea of where you are. So.
Gotcha. How long does that last?
Till the end of the encounter.
Excellent. Really hot.
Yeah. I'm going to spend 1 of the stunt points to increase the force by 1. So the force for that would be 17. Okay.
Got it.
I'm going to spend my 8 power points to do that, okay?
Beautiful. I wrote in the Roll20 chat.
I think we have. Well, I know I have my UA armor on for this stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassie does as well.
I mean, and it gave you a +1 to stealth test, so I would imagine you guys probably all did. I mean, whoever wanted to, obviously, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so Drake reaches out with the source, and both Drugel and Drake fade from sight. Looming before you is kind of this this glowing pillar of kind of purplish energy. You can see like little motes of light kind of streaming up and down it. you know, if you kind of step into this column, it will lift you. It will lift you directly into the reactor room above. Are you guys ready?
All right, let's go. And Tack will jump into the beam.
I will activate my blade of light and jump in the beam.
Perfect. Oh yeah, I'm assuming everyone gets their weapons out, right? Yeah. So.
Is it? I'm trying to decide if Cassie has her SMG out or the Rosat out.
Or the grenade launcher, unless you gave it back.
No, I definitely have the grenade launcher still.
Never giving it back. Never giving it back.
Never going back to tech. I'm so sorry.
Not the grenade launcher.
It's definitely slung across Cassie's back for sure.
Gotcha.
I think I'll be going in with my SMG because last time I didn't, and I didn't get to do the things that I wanted to do.
Thanks for the raid.
Thank you for the raid.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lollygaggers, for the raid.
Welcome.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Lollygaggers. Side note, I watched the Lollygaggers the other day with their Alien RPG campaign.
Yeah.
We should play the Alien RPG campaign sometime, because we'll all die and it'll be really funny.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys, you just caught us. We're right about to probably hop into some action. The Freelancers have infiltrated an enemy capital ship. Oh, thank you so much, T-Bone, for the gifted subs. My gosh, you guys are too great. Yeah, so the group is entering the reactor room of a large capital ship. They have explosives that they're going to be planting, and it is going to be off the hook. I am just grabbing, I realized I didn't have the player tokens on this map. I did everything else, so I'm throwing them on there right now as I stall. Oh, for those who have just rated us, don't forget to enter our giveaways. We're doing 2 giveaways right now. One is for the Expanse RPG core rulebook and their adventure path, and the other one is for a bunch of Green Ronin PDFs for the Expanse. So check the chat. We are giving the giveaway codes in there now. One of is exclamation point infiltrate. The other one is exclamation point big churn. So don't miss it.
Exclamation!
Right, I am ready.
The big churn giveaway will give you just about everything you need to run Expanse.
Right.
Yeah, I think literally everything you need.
Literally.
Yeah, and then the big churn lasts forever. So if you don't win it tonight and we hit 30 turn next week in our last episode, which we will, we will. Yeah. You have an opportunity to win it next week as well, even if you aren't back for one reason or another to watch the skit.
Yeah, awesome. So, Tack steps into the gravity well, and then I'm guessing each of you does kind of following them?
Yeah.
Perfect. You feel this kind of almost weightless sensation as the gravity lift reacts to your mass and lifts you up. This kind of purplish light enveloping you, and you are brought up into the engine room. I'm gonna throw the map up on the screen, and then you guys can arrange yourselves on the gravity lift where you would like to be. So the characters would be to the far right end of the map, Rob. And I'm going to stop this.
Oh boy.
Yep. So.
Why is there an Oh no, the anomaly's back!
Yeah, well. This is my surprised face.
They really did take everything on that asteroid, huh? They really did.
They really did.
Yeah, this is not good.
My surprised face.
I'm gonna stop that music real quick. All right, as the gravity lift brings you past the plane of the floor, you are taken into a cavernous room. Immediately taking in the features of the room, you can see the center is dominated by a what appears to be a miniature star. You understand that if this wasn't shielded with the technology that contains it, you would be incinerated by its heat. However, the technology that controls it protects you. Yeah, I don't know why you guys can't see that, because I see you guys. Please stop tagging it. Okay. Apparently that one randomly didn't get the player permissions to see. I don't know. Thanks, Roll20. Taking in the room, you can see standing in front of you are 2 armed guards kind of strafing either end of the either side of the gravity lift. And to the right, contained in some kind of energy field, is the anomaly kind of lashing out and slamming at the sides of this this kind of force field. And you can see suspended behind it what appears to be a tiny flake of something that looks suspiciously like the slip space shard, which you guys gave to Nails. I would say as you lift up on the energy lift, the two, the Sarakan and the Kigyar strafing on either side, kind of turn like lazily to see what crew members have joined. You can tell that they're not expecting anyone else to be on this ship, and their eyes go wide with surprise. I'm going to need everyone to roll me initiative and rearrange yourselves on the gravity lift.
When you say the one we gave to Nails, do you mean literally the one we gave to Nails?
No, it's similar. It's like a
Okay.
It's like a little flake of the same material.
I was assuming. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, sorry, no, the one is safe and sound with Nails. So yeah, don't forget to click on your character, add to turn.
Oh. I never forget.
I always do, but I didn't this time. Yay.
Keeping true to form, I can't roll anything above a 10 for initiative ever. So.
The suits have a -1, right? It didn't include it. So weird.
The suits do give a -1, yep.
All right, I got it. I counted for it.
Oh, put
Awesome.
my -1 in there twice? No, it didn't. No, it did it right. We're fine.
Beautiful. Is everyone on the initiative? Excellent. All right, then we are going to get started. And Cassie, I remember you have a special ability, right?
I do, and I went in with my rifle out, so I'm gonna be using my talent, and I'm gonna take a shot somewhere. Oh my gosh,
It's a target-rich environment.
it sure is. What does Cassie think has the highest capacity to do damage here?
The two people standing close to you are holding the heaviest weapons.
Shotgun! Whoo!
Yep, that's what I was gonna go for. I just wanted to make sure that was the right call. All right, so Cassie will immediately open fire on the Sarakan with a shotgun.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I would say you don't have them dead to rights because they there was a time period of transition where they could see you, but yeah, you have the drop on them. So let's go ahead and roll your attack.
I can't just go straight to damage.
I would love it if you could.
Oh! Wow. Well,
Oof. Oofta. And
Get
spend
him
any
out
fortune?
early.
do with that.
Get him out
Yep.
early.
I will. I'll spend. Screw it. I'll spend five fortune to change the 1 to a 5, which will make my roll a 14? Question mark?
Is that what you're doing?
What hit? Question mark?
You gotta commit. I can't tell you before you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So,
How heavy armored do these people look? Or like,
I would say light to medium. No one seems the one that has the heaviest. You can see the Jackal has an energy shield that's unlit at their side, so they could pop it on their turn.
sure, we're gonna. I'm changing my roll to a 14.
Awesome. That hits.
Hit.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, and I stunt with 2 stunt points that way.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Damage. 11 points of damage.
Excellent. So,
we'll be using 2 stun points for double team, right? With Dakiri.
excellent.
Just fucking go.
18 to hit.
18. Targeting the same person?
Yes.
That's how
well, it's a double
double team
team.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's
Right?
not.
Yeah.
Yep. 18 does hit.
Sorry, there's always that slight delay. 14 damage with the needler rifle.
Oh, nice. 11 and 14. Yeah, I would say, so yeah, Cassie, as the group, as your boots kind of settle on the platform around this gravity well, you almost take them by surprise, and there's the silenced cough of Cassie's silenced SMG and the loud crack of Dakiri's needler rifle. And you can see that the Serakin goes down in a hail of gunfire as their body is riddled with bullets. Good start to the match. They start to swing it up, and they are just kind of and go down in a pool of their blood. And the music stopped for everyone at home but me. This music is brought to you partially by Roll20. Thanks, Roll20. Alright, you guys should be able to hear music again. It's a little quiet on my end, but let me know if it's
Yeah.
okay for you.
Mine too, actually.
I don't know if I'm hearing anything.
Let me turn it up a little bit.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys immediately take down one of the pirates as you emerge from this gravity well. Cassie, that was your action before initiative even starts. At the top of the initiative with a 19, Dakiri, you are up.
Okay, Dakiri is going to take a passing route on this Kigyar, and because she has tactical awareness, she can hamstring him as he's running by with the Ikori.
Awesome.
Is he facing us? Like, is that shield facing me or away?
He hadn't even popped the shield yet. They weren't really expecting somebody to be there, so the shield's not even up.
Even better. $15 to hit.
15 hits.
For 10 points of damage.
Nice. You hear the squawk and the slash of blood as your Corey lashes out and rakes across their back as you run by.
And that is my turn.
Got it. At a 17 on the initiative, you can see, kind of becoming aware that something is happening, a human that was operating a control panel on the far north, a human femme character with kind of greenish dyed hair, swivels over and pulls a large caliber magnum pistol from their belt, and immediately opens fire, shouts, "We've got intruders!" And I'm going to say that the first shots that they make are against Tack, because Tack is the closest one to them. So they're going to go ahead and roll their attack against Tack. I don't know where my window went, so I'm going to pop it out again. Alrighty.
Nope.
Awesome. So the large caliber of their magnum pistol, and you can feel the bullets flattening themselves on your large shield and against your armor. That I have to roll again just to make sure that they don't have to reload. see if their stunt dice does it. A 5. Actually, they do. So you can see that she basically empties the magazine on this this large caliber pistol, and the bullets fall to the ground in front of you until it clicks empty. She's gonna have to reload on her next turn. That is the human femme character. With a 16, man, they have a lot there in the center. Is an Ungoi with a plasma pistol. So the one here, kind of behind the platform, looks up from their work and sees you. They pull up this greenish energy weapon, and they are going to let loose on. They can't see Drake or Drugel, so they are going to fire on Dakiri, because Dakiri is kind of the closest to them. And I also need to pull up their character sheet. Does a 15 hit you?
No.
So as you are kind of bolting across the room, streaks of green plasma start hitting the deck plating behind you and leaving burned charred, but are unable to hit you, and they say, "Oh fuck!" That is their minor to pull the weapon and their major to make an attack roll. This Kigyar with the needler that you attacked does have their needler in their hand as they were on guard duty. You can see they use their minor action to pop open a large kind of golden disc of energy as their shield gauntlet eliminates, and they turn their needler rifle onto you, Dakiri. I thought oh, of course.
No dice.
Gotcha. That should actually be a +1, but I'm still guessing a 14. Yeah, 14 still doesn't hit you. So yeah, you can hear the stream of needles kind of ricocheting off the ground behind you, but you are just too quick and too lithe to hit. They are also going to have to roll just to make sure that they don't have to reload on their turn. It did not. Oh. Oh my gosh, they do as well. They're rolling like they're rolling shit. Higher is worse for them in this regard. And so you can hear that the weapon clicks empty, and they let out an angry squawk on the end of their turn. So they're gonna have to reload on their turn. All right, Drugel, you're up with a 14, and the another Ungoi with a blaster pistol is on deck.
Drugel setting charges. So wherever Drugel was told to set charges, that is what Drugel is doing.
You see around the platform of the reactor, there are these base-like structures.
Okay.
That is where you would want to set the charges.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna run with my major action and walk with my minor action quietly and skillfully around everyone else, and get myself over to one of those so I can set the charges next turn, because it looks like unless it's an object interaction, I can just sit it down and set it.
Yeah, it is a major because it does require a little bit of care to make sure it sets up right.
Well, then I'm just gonna take my invisible self over here.
Beautiful.
If it was okay with Drugel, I forgot to mention, I didn't want it to be the case where I gave Drugel the charge that I had on me.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
That way they could set 2 of them, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever charges I have, I will set.
Beautiful.
And I'll set them on opposite sides. That's my intention.
Excellent. Yeah, so as you kind of are trundling through the room, no one seems to be aware of your presence. Looking right past you, plasma fire and needlers are flying all around. Next up with a 13 is this other Ungoi with a blaster pistol. It does not see Drugel at all. It is going to take a shot at Cassie, seeing its partner firing full bore at Tack. So. Oh man. These guys aren't rolling well. I'm guessing a 10 does not hit you?
No.
No. So you can hear as the Ungoi kind of ducks behind the cover there, the plasma bolts sizzling as they hit the wall behind you, but they have not gotten a successful hit off yet.
Cassie just looks in the direction that the shots came from, that whizzed like past her, and just raises an eyebrow.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah, it's you can see that these people seem to be, from what you can tell, these pirates are more like technicians, if that makes sense. They seem a little bit surprised by the combat. Probably didn't expect to see people in the middle of their ship. All right, Drake, you're up with a 12, and Tack, you're on deck with an 11.
All right. Well, still invisible, Drake will use his minor action to use the source to. The TN is 13. It's going to cost 2 power points, and it'll move him 3 times his speed for the minor action that this will do. Yuck, absolutely beautiful. That makes it, and I've got 6 set points to spend. And I am between those two now, still invisible. I think we're alone now. With my 6 stunt points. Yeah, perfect. With my 6 stunt points, I will make it fast use, and then I will use 2 of them to reduce the cost. Cool. So then with my major action, I will make an attack. Oh, excuse me, I have to use the power first. With my next minor action, now that I get, because the power was fast use, I will use displacement. Which does work, so now there's 3 invisible me's, which are about to be we're sure about to be visible. Okay, cool. And now I'll make an attack with my Blade of Light against the person with the... a reload just means they use a minor action, right?
Correct.
The magnum that's reloading?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll use it on the blaster pistol. 16 does hit. 16 does hit indeed. I'll just do damage. Yeah, that's not good enough. Okay, we'll barely get a breather between fights. So, oh, I didn't mean to roll that. 10 points of ignore 4 armor damage to the Ungoi with the blaster pistol.
Yep. So your Blade of Light lashes out at the Ungoi, and you temporarily become visible as you appear in a shimmer in front of them, lashing out, doing 10 points of damage.
All 3 of me become invisible. Visible, rather.
Become visible. So you can, like, their eyes go even wider. They're kind of like beady black eyes go even wider as you 3 of you appear in front of them and leave a swath across their front.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna spend 3 fortune to force a stunt and gain 2 stunt points. I'm gonna use 2 of them to do disarm on the Ungoi.
Go for it.
Which I do believe is opposed melee.
Mm-hmm. Let me go roll. This turn.
Yeah.
Hog champ.
Hog dog. So mine's a 16. So he has to make an opposed roll.
Is it just straight fighting, or is there any focus involved?
It says I'm an opposed like it's whatever, like they're opposed. It says it's an opposed melee roll.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna. Okay, that makes sense. See, I have so many windows to keep track of.
They beat it actually. They rolled like a god.
Oh my gosh, they do.
Yeah.
So you try to wrench the plasma pistol from their hand, but their overly large, kind of like thick forearm keeps a grip on it. Not today.
And then I'll just use the other 2 points to increase the damage by 4 that I did to them. So that was 14 total of ignore 4 armor. That's my turn.
Oh my goodness, they are not looking great. That's for sure. All right, Tack, you're up with an 11, and Cassie, you're on deck with a 10.
All right, Tack will charge straight at the Kigyar with the needler.
Go for it.
bringing their hammer down on them and rolling like trash. So 13.
Do you want to modify that with any fortune?
Yeah, I'll change that 1. I'll lose the stun point, but that's fine. I'll change that 1 to a 3. So a 3 fortune.
All right, and what does that bring your total to?
2 more than what it is, so 12. 15.
Isn't that 14?
I get a plus 1
Oh, you
from
get a plus
charging.
1 from charging. There you go. 15 exactly makes what you need to hit with this with their shield up.
Perfect. And then 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. You can hear the as your hammer lays down and the cracking of their kind of thin bird-like bones. They're not very heavily armored because they rely on their shield, and you did quite a bit of damage to them.
And I will slide them up to there.
Gotcha. Slide them up 1 square like this. You
Yep.
said? So as your hammer kind of sends them bodily moving. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Beautiful. Cass, you're up with a 10. I think you still have a minor action.
Yes, I do have a minor action. So, you said it was a major action to set a charge, correct?
It is.
Okay. Where objective-wise would we need to set the charges? I think I missed. If
You can
mentioned
see,
that.
or if you look on the map around the base of the reactor, there are these kind of like pylons. You'll want to set them there.
Oh. Okay. Those are just hard to see. Because they're just... Okay. Alright, so I think Cassie will... There isn't really a good place to take cover in between there, but I think... Yeah. Cassie will be moving, I guess, to there? I guess to there. Oh gosh, I can't.
Okay.
Sorry. Minor action, so there it is.
Gotcha. Yep. Having used your major action before initiative starts, Cassie kind of moves forward. You can hear her boots squeaking on the hard metal floor as she rushes forward into the room. Back to the top of the initiative. I would say, Dikiri, you are up with a 19.
All right. Just for a little flair, but let's see what happens with these boots. Kiri's gonna run towards whatever that purple panelish thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Just before she gets there, she's gonna kick on the boots, take a leap where she inverts, and as she's inverting, throw her Cories out at the Ungoi with the plasma pistol, and land just behind.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds hot. Let's go ahead and roll me your attack roll.
16.
16 hits them.
For 8 points of damage.
8 points. Yeah, and there might be times where like a free fall or like a check is required for like acrobatics, but even just something like that's pretty simple. It's just movement. So no roll necessary for like flight or anything right now. Yeah, so the Akori lash out, and you can see them kind of slice into the armor of this Ungoi, though they are still up. 8 points of damage. Alrighty. Dikiri, is that your turn?
It is.
Awesome. We are to the human with the magnum's turn, but I need to make a quick pit stop. So I'll be. If you want to plug anything, feel free. I'll be.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Thank you all so much. Of course, first and foremost, thank you all so much for tuning in, and of course, thank you again to T-Bone for the gift of sub, Lollygaggers for the raid. Pleasure to have everyone here in chat. And special shout out to our friends at Animal Helper who boosted us on their Instagram. We hope they're doing well. If you don't know, Animal Helper is a 501c3 located in New Orleans. They help special needs animals, and a special needs animal is an animal that usually requires a lot of vet care and attention and fostering. So go check them out on their socials and see how you can help.
They also adopt pets out across the country, and they have some very, very cute animals right now that, while special needs would not be extra, it would be extra attention, but not necessarily extra money. So they have a dog right now that's currently blind, that I think is a Shar-Pei. It's one of those wrinkly ones with the short, scraggly hair, that are cute, but they're all wrinkles. And as I said, they adopt out anywhere in the lower 48 here in the U.S. So, yeah. Go if you have room in your home for another cutie pie. Go look.
I used to volunteer / work with them, so I know every dog gets extensive medical treatment and is fostered long term. So they if there's any behavioral issues, those get picked up and stuff like that. Really, really fantastic rescue that does everything how it should be done.
And also, don't forget to make sure you've entered into our giveaways. We have 2 going on right now. One of them will happen whenever our churn hits 30, which we are climbing rather quickly. So,
I'll get us there.
Yeah, we'll probably get there tonight. If we don't get there tonight, we'll definitely get there next week. We might even get there both weeks in a row, so we might be doing 2 churn giveaways. Just make sure you've entered our big churn giveaway for a chance to win a ton of stuff.
I didn't remember muting, but okay. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, now the sound probably returned for you too. So, yeah. So at a 17 initiative, the Them pirate holding the Magnum that was forced to reload, Drake. She jumps with a start as you appear behind her, and kind of looks down at the empty pistol in her hand. Reaches out with her minor action and actually slaps a button on the terminal in front of her, and you can hear a basically alerting the ship that there are intruders. She downgrades her major action to another minor and starts to move away from you.
Only one of the drakes that are there turns around and notices her. The other 2 focus on the ungood.
Gotcha. Excellent. And that's her turn. 2 minor actions. With the 16, the Ungoy, the plasma pistol, sees you, Dakiri. They are going to take a panicked step back from you, and they're going to try to open fire on you with plasma. You can never have too many screens. I should have 5 screens. That would be great.
Feel that. Shit.
Doesn't sound like anyone at our table.
With a 10, they miss you. So, taken aback from the acrobatic displays, you basically hovered above them. They are just letting loose with this plasma pistol. Shots landing all around, but none hitting you. That is their turn. Kigyar with the Needler is up. Not liking getting hit by a large hammer, the Kigyar is going to take a step back, and they are going to they have to use their minor action. Sorry, they have to use their minor action to reload. So you can see they pull out a fresh quiver of needles and stick them in, and chunk, the pink shards kind of poke back out through the Needler. Without retreating, they're just going to unleash a load on you, Tack. Yeah, they're just gonna blow their load all over Tack. Yep.
I thought I was muted.
Just showering them that goodness. All right, so where's my Kigyar? There it is. That's
I
where
gotta
you can
go.
see it. Does a 14 hit?
No, so Tack just sees them about to unload, and takes their shield and like puts it right up against the barrel of the needler.
Yeah, and you can hear the muffled shards just kind of exploding, pink shrapnel all around you as they are unable to hit. Rolling really quickly again to see the reload test. They do not have to reload this time. They showed restraint. So that is the Kikyar's turn. Drugel, you're up with the 14.
I am using my major action to set a charge.
Awesome. Music is on the low side. I will bump it up. Yeah, that would be, I think, a straight intelligence test. Like there's a demolitions test, but I'm assuming you're not trained in demolitions, so.
I don't have
go.
demolitions. 17 with 4 stun points because I super stunted.
Excellent. Super stun. 14 or 17 does make the test to successfully set the explosive charge.
Five stunt points.
Five stun
Yes.
points.
And then can I give? Because Cassie's trying to set a charge, yeah.
I'm trying to maneuver my way over to set a charge
Okay.
while taking people, while removing obstacles from my path.
Then I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna do 2 things. I'm gonna give her group tactics twice, so she can move 4 meters.
Gotcha.
And then I am going to gain 3 to my initiative with momentum with my last point.
Nice. So I just put you as a 17 on the initiative. I'm gonna drag you to where you would be.
Awesome. Does that help, Cassie?
Yeah. I mean,
Perfect.
any movement helps. Thanks.
Groovy.
Awesome.
Because I don't want to attack anything because I don't want to become visible. But
That's fine.
and
Smart.
then other thing I would do is since we know we're putting these around the pylons, I would kind of sort of mark it for everyone else in our group on their heads up display so that they knew where I'd put them since they can't see me either.
Gotcha.
So that we're not all putting them in the same spot.
Beautiful.
And then as a minor action, I would move. I can move what? 11 feet. So I put a charge here, and then I'm going to move 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Close enough. And then I'm trying to move around to this other side so that I can have them on opposite sides, which I can do next turn.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put a little green box on the one that you put the charge on, just so it's clear for everybody.
Awesome.
Excellent. That was your turn, Drugel? Awesome. The other Ungoy with the plasma pistol is up. Drake, you are menacing them. They are going to try to put a little bit of distance between yourself and them. Stepping back 5 feet. Actually, well, 5, 10... and they are going to start firing on you with their plasma pistol. What's your effective defense right now?
19.
That does not hit. So they are firing at one of your figments, missing with every shot. I think on the beginning of their next turn, they can make a perception check as a free action if they get a next turn to see you.
Yep.
That is the Ungoy's turn. Drake, you're up with a 12, and Tack, you're on deck with an 11.
With the briefest of glances, does it look like I could just stop that alarm with another tap?
Yeah, I would say with a minor action, you could reach out and turn it off.
I'm gonna bap with my minor action.
Yeah, the stops.
Yeah. Half is about here for me. Okay, I look at the blaster pistol. I'm like, you're just a little too far, and then I'm gonna charge the human with the magnum.
Oh no.
With my major. That's a +1, right? When we
Yep.
charge? Okay. Okay.
I'm assuming so.
It is.
I don't have.
Actually, I rolled like dog water. I love that for me.
That happens sometimes.
I'm gonna change the 1 into a 3 to make it a 15 to hit. The lady with the magnum, the femme with the magnum.
Nice. 15 to hit. That hits.
Yep, and I gain 4 stunt points, which I will use to seize the initiative.
Awesome. I'm gonna stop sharing that screen.
They only take. Oh, hi. They only take
I'm
9.
sorry.
They only take 9 points of ignore 4 armor. The femme with the magnum they take 9 points. Ignore 4 armor.
Gotcha. As your sword of light kind of lashes out and slashes across, it does a fair amount of damage. They were wearing pretty light armor, so it just cuts a hole right through basically the padded leather outfit. But she is still up.
You want to drag my initiative before Dakiri's?
Yes, sir. Not to be outdone.
And that is my turn. So I killed the
Gotcha.
alarm, I charged, I hit, I see the initiative. That's my turn.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
What I like about that, just for descriptive purposes, is I do briefly go invisible, and then I just appear, all 3 of me in front of her, and I'm like, ah! It's horrifying.
It is. The ghosts ain't nothing to fuck with. Awesome. Tack, you're up with 11, and Cassie, you're on deck with a 10.
Tack will continue to bear down upon the Kidgower and put their full weight behind their hammer swing to try to break through their shield. With the 14?
Do you want to adjust that roll at all?
I am going to adjust it up 2 to get my stun points.
Gotcha.
So 15 total.
15 hits.
Should hit. With 2 stunt points as well. So
3.
3. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll disarm.
Gotcha.
For 2.
All right. I'm gonna roll their opposed fighting test.
$22.
Yeah, the needler is slammed from their hand. And you, how far do you send it? I think you can determine the square.
It will be 1d6 plus my strength in meters. So that would be 1d6 plus 3. 7 meters away.
Oh, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe like over here.
Throw it to the gravity! Woo, throw it to the
Oh
gravity!
yeah, the gravity.
Ah,
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's in a direction
Yeah.
of your choice, so just...
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, you can see the and you also need to roll damage, right? Because you hit him.
I did 12 points of damage.
Oh, 12 points. Oh man, they are not looking good.
I will.
They are
Also
on their
push
last
them
leg.
straight to the left. 2 meters.
Gotcha.
Right
And you can
there.
see
Sorry.
they're
left
where?
of the map. Map left.
oh, okay. And you can see the needler rifle just goes soaring up the gravity well.
And then Minor to take a step forward.
Beautiful. All right, Tack, that's your turn. Cassie, you're up with a 10.
Okay. Let's see. Cassie is going to continue moving in this general direction, but it's gonna open up and fire out some shots at this. What am I looking at? Something with a Zat?
That's a Twia. They have like twin tails coming off their head. They're humanoid.
Legally
Twia. I'll fire at the Twia with the Zat.
Gotcha.
Don't hurt us, mouse.
Please no. Oh boy, that sounded awfully similar to.
Yes. Where's my? Here it is. Oh.
Oh.
The dice gotta be like that.
Are you gonna adjust your roll a little?
Yeah, fuck it. I'll spend 5 more fortune.
Oh my goodness.
I wanna keep the stun.
Okay. So adding 5 to it, that hits, and now you have 5 stunt points to spend.
Yeah. Yes. And I will scan them on... I guess I could just spend them on regaining that fortune.
You literally could. Right?
It seems a little bit silly, but I
You
feel
can only
like I'm
spend
gonna need them later.
You can only spend up to 3 on
Oh, yeah.
adrenaline rush. So yeah.
3 on adrenaline rush then. That's what I'll spend it. And then, let's see. Wait 1 second. Let me do one thing first before I spend it. Damage. 10 damage.
Okay.
Where am I gonna be finishing my movement? I'm gonna vault my ass over this. What is this? A console of some sort?
Yep, a large console.
So firing off while so Cassie runs over, vaults herself, like, and slides her ass over the console while firing off at this Twia, and kind of lands herself on the other side, and I think taps to carry on the ass and uses 2 points for temple team.
Gotcha.
So because I have quick reflexes, ready as a free action, the Curie's gonna like do this like half run up this whatever this obstacle is and fire off the needler rifle as she's flipping backwards.
Go for it.
Oh, I think that
Holy
hits.
shit. Yeah, that hits.
21.
Yep.
So I want to say that Cassie takes her momentum as
Oh,
she's
God.
throwing herself over that console and running towards, and helps to flip Takiri around to aim her at the Twia.
Yep. Gotcha. Good lord, 22 points of damage. So as you guys just with perfect synchronicity, flipping over, and she is just. Oh, that's the wrong gun. That one. And she is just immolated with fire, and goes down in a heap. Almost as if she was not added to the initiative and didn't go. And she goes down into a blaze of glory.
Drake says over comms, "Hey, you need a stun baton over there."
I'm not the one delivering the last. Anyway,
They could be non-lethal if you
Yeah.
wanted them to be.
It's the GM describing the ends as lethal, sir.
Sorry.
I declare a knockout as we've been here before, falling off the plummeting 60 feet off the bagger 288. That's a knockout.
Yeah.
It's
Knockout.
a knockout. Yeah.
They're sleeping.
They're fine. Just going to sleep. And Cassie will just continue with her momentum, but turn her gaze and her SMG towards the Ungoy with a plasma pistol, ready for her next turn. That's it. I'm done.
Gotcha. Very effective round. I think we have time for one more round, probably, for the session. At the top of the round, 20, Drake.
Okay. I'm gonna make my attack. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. I'm not gonna generate anything. If I can just 11 points of ignore 4 armor on the fem with the magnum.
How do you want to do this?
I just I spit. I do like an uppercut swing that like slices across her armor and her chest, and it kind of all falls. It like kind of starts to fall apart, and then I overhead smash with the hilt. Like
Knockout blow.
Yeah, you see how that's done? All non-lethal, like I say, and then, and then I'm actually gonna move here.
Okie dokie.
My minor, and I'm just gonna look at the anomaly through this like phase shield that's containing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's my turn.
As you lock eyes with where the anomaly's face would be, you can see it's kind of in its physical form, and the front of its face kind of ripples a little bit, somewhat mimicking your own as it looks at you. Drake's turn. Dakiri, you're up with a 19.
All right, I already have the Neither out, so I will fire on the Ungoy from my position. $17.
17 hits.
For 16 points of damage.
How would you like to do this?
Just a center mass shot.
And you can see the what you say as it kind of looks down at the hole in its chest and falls to the ground.
Oh, and they're sleeping. Their spine is floating in the gravo tunnel.
I can't even say that they fired first.
Sadly, that's your major action. Are you gonna do anything with your minor?
I'm gonna head up to where I aimed. So no, I already used my minor.
Oh, you literally used the aim action. Got it. Alrighty. Drugel, you're up with a 17.
Alright, Drugel is using their movement to get around over here.
Okay.
And I think that's their major action. I don't think I have anything as a minor action, because I can't set the charge as a minor action, and I had to double move. So, I think that's my turn. There we are.
Awesome. On initiative count 17, you hear a whine of the gravity lift behind you as a large form starts to descend. And from the ceiling, you can see a large metal figure in rusted power armor lowering from the gravity lift from the ceiling. And they set down on the ground right behind you, Tack. And with like an amplified voice echoing through this large cavern, you can hear, What the fuck do you think you're doing on my ship? And that is where we're going to call it for the evening.
Drake is like, didn't he hear that the alarm button stopped? I don't understand. Thought that would have fooled them.
Awesome. Good stuff. Yeah, they were on initiative count 17, and they were going to arrive a round or so after that alarm went off. So good stuff, folks. Yeah, so we are going to pick up probably next week, right where the combat left off in the what would we call it, a cinematic conclusion to season 2 of Cold Suns. So let me stop this music and background sound effects, and we will do our little outros. Awesome.
Yeah. Tune in next week for Droogle chasing Invisible, trying to tap into the power armor to kick him out of it.
Please come out. Please come out. Stand still.
Still.
Be good.
Awesome, man. I'm so jazzed. I would love to. We should go till 9:30, guys. Let's just keep going. Okay, so yeah, let's. We're gonna go around and do our outro. So before we do, I see that there's quite a few people in chat. So go ahead and enter our giveaways if you haven't already. ! Infiltrate and ! Big churn. We didn't hit 30 churn tonight, but we're sure as hell gonna hit it tomorrow. I was hoping you guys would just spend fortune needlessly those last 2 rolls to hit 30 before the end of the night, but this works out great. So, okay, let's go around and tell people where to find you, plug anything you want to do, and talk about our favorite moments. Let's go ahead and start that roundabout with Rob.
Hey, Rob at Parameter804 on the Twitterverse. Favorite moment for tonight? Oh, there's so many. I think watching Drake, like, invisible, dash across the room, 3 Drakes, attack, invisible, jump across the room, attack. Amazing. Just that whole visual.
Disgusting.
And I will pass it over to Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. You can find me at No One You Know Backwards on this beautiful overlay, and pretty much all the socials. Favorite moment from the evening? Probably the touching moment between Drake and Cassie. It's, I mean, the action in punching things is fantastic, but one of the highlights of the shows that we have here is the emotional moments, and they're fantastic. And I will pass it to Sean.
Hello, I'm just here on Saturday nights, and my favorite moment, although now I'm kind of wondering if I was missing it, but didn't Tech throw that Kig-Yar into the lift tunnel?
Not
think it was their
yet.
pistol.
I threw their
Oh, okay.
needler
Happened.
pistol
The
into the lift.
Oh, okay. I misheard that then. So I'm definitely going with the opening moment of that with Cassie and everyone else just ripping on that shotgun wielding. I don't even remember what it was anymore. I think it was another. Was it a Kig-Yar there?
It was a Sirakin.
Sirakin, but just the fact that the shotguns have us are so inside our heads that's the first target we zero in on and eliminate it right off the bat. I'll pass this over to Matt.
Hi, folks. I'm Matthew Foreman. You can find me here on Dice Priority a few nights a week, and then you can find me on my own channel, twitch.tv/Matt Foreman, where I stream Dead by Daylight as a survivor and a killer, actually, lately, because survivor games have been dog water. My favorite moment, I think that I mean, a lot of great stuff was already mentioned. I really like I like being able to set the invisibility on both me and Droogle. It really honestly doesn't help me a bunch, but I had the stunt point, so why not? And just like Droogle, because Droogle's a very objective based the last few encounters, so like they get to like now rush around invisible, set charges and everything. And then the anomaly just sitting there in a churn box that what I'm calling it. Because it's so good, because it's really up to us, like in a lot of ways, how fast that thing comes out, or really if even it comes out at all. And it's like it's just sitting there as part of the system, and it's this thing. And I love that. I love that the anomaly's there.
Just watching us do things that amp up the churn.
Yeah, and I like that I'm standing there, like being like, "Come out of that box, you little bitch! I'll whip your ass again." And I'll go ahead and throw it over to Vox.
Hello, I'm Alexis. You can find me at FoxFanato on Twitter, where I mostly post about Valheim these days. Also find me here on Tuesday for Monster of the Week, which is we're doing a lot of weird shit. I play a blood witch. It's great. So if you are interested in like the spooky Monster of the Week type stuff, catch us there on Tuesdays at 8:30 Central. My favorite moment, I think, I mean, a lot have been mentioned, but gosh, I love all of the Harley Quinn-esque, Wonder Woman-esque moments from Dakiri. And I really liked the way we set up all the breach test. I liked, it's not like one moment per se, but I like that we got to, put those pieces in place without us having to sit here and like actually us as players come up with some sort of plan. We were able to use our characters' knowledge and abilities to kind of generate a plan and kind of montage through it, so to speak. And I liked that that we got to use some of those skills and abilities that we don't necessarily as players have those knowledge sets. I'm like, but us as characters getting to put that to work was really fun to see, and getting to work together in that way was nice. Yeah, and I'm really excited to see what happens now that Antoc is here. I'm sure it'll be fine. We're doing great. No one's in danger. Definitely not Tack. So that's it for me. Did Rob went. That's right. So back to Chase.
Hi everybody, I'm Chase. You can find me on Twitter at Chase304S. You can also find me on all of our socials where I post dank TTRPG memes every single day. Had a really great session. I'll echo, I really enjoy the challenge test or the breaching test where you each kind of get to do your skills. I feel like it's kind of like the age systems version of a skill challenge, but it's pretty cool because it allows really objective based things to happen, quickly. It's kind of like its own version of an encounter. So, and you guys, honestly, you guys were rolling super hot, like almost all night. So like opening up and just decimating the guy with the shotgun in the first round was just, so that was awesome. Yeah. And I do love the menacing nature of the anomaly, just kind of sitting there waiting, like you said, in the churn box, just waiting to come out. It's like Schrodinger's anomaly. It's gonna be there, it's not, whenever. So so I'm really excited. Please tune in next week for the season finale of Cold Suns. It will be a banger for sure. We're going to be rating, I believe it's Super Dylan. They are doing a charity stream for lupus, raising money for lupus. So please stick around for this outro video. But first, we're going to draw the two giveaways. So let's do
the one
question.
giveaway.
If we didn't hit 30 turn tonight. If we hit 30 turn twice next week, do we give the big turn away twice?
Oh yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So if you enter into the big turn giveaway today, it rolls over to next week. So if we hit 30 twice, which we're fighting the big bad and it's our last session, it's possible. So
Yep. Go for it.
Make sure you enter.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Which one are we drawing first, Rob?
There's only one to draw, so we're just drawing the player bundle giveaway. So I'm going.
Awesome. Oh yeah, that's right.
That. And Elros.
Elros! Awesome. Elros, congratulations. We will be getting in contact with you to get you a copy of the GM's kit and the Absu's Bounty. Thanks to our friends over at Green Ronin. I declare knockout, like just totally, just light them up. I declare knockout. Yeah, so please stick around. We're going to roll the outro video, and then we're going to raid Super Dylan. They're raising money for a good cause. So we will see you next week here in Cold Suns.